Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hussain Qazi here. FM students, I hope all of you are doing well, and a very warm welcome to my FM exam standard practice session. The scope of this practice session, it's about all type of exam standard question, and particularly we will cover with this session section A type 5 questions 10 marks, section B type 1 OTQs having 10 marks, and section C type 1 CRQ 20 marks, and CRQ we will cover the calculation and theoretical component as well. So with this practice session we will cover 40 marks questions. So let's start the session with section A type question. So before starting the session, I wanted to emphasize a very important point. Whenever you are attempting any question, you need to make sure that I have to invest 20% time for planning, and planning includes the reading and understanding the requirement and content of the exam, and 80% time that you will execute. And this proportion will apply with all of the questions, either section A type question, either section B type question, or section C type question. So let's start the question. The very first question with respect to section A type. Number 1, which two of the following statements regarding profit are correct? So wait a minute. First of all, you need to pick which syllabus content area examiner examined here. Here examiner examined something about profit, and this relate to or profit maximization matters. This relate to the content of the syllabus that's called financial management function and environment. Number 2, now you need to identify or very clearly pick the point what examiner asked here. Examiner asked to identify two correct statements. So you do not be very much desperate to move quickly. No? Instead, read the requirement and options very carefully and answer accordingly. So this is about financial management function environment. We have to pick two correct statements. First of all, we need to read all 4 options. Number 1, primarily objective of profit maximization, always beneficial for shareholder. Okay. Don't take a final decision, is it right or wrong? Read all statements. Profit figures can be used as a good indicator to make investment decision when comparing two companies. Profit related to performance in short term, and so is not a good basis for long-term investment decision. Profit can be manipulated by accounting policies and are not the best measure of performance. Okay, so you have read the options as well. Identify the syllabus content. Identify that what examiner expect here. That's 2 correct statements. You have read the options. Now it's time to take final decision. Primarily objective of profit maximization is always beneficial for shareholder. It's not absolute correct. Only the objective of profit maximization, it's not always beneficial. Investor need to gauge or compare the risk as well with the profit. So risk information is also important. And yes, of course, other non-financial factors. For example, corporate social responsibility. Okay, that's also very much important. So first statement is not absolutely correct. Number 2, profit figure can be used as good indicator for investment decision. For investment decision only, profit is not the only point. For example, you wanted to take a decision to invest any one of the company. Company A having a profit 12,000, company B having a profit of 10,000. So till now the information is about 12,000 profit, 10,000 profit. But if you wanted to take investment decision, another information, 12,000 based on capital employed of 2 lakh. 10,000 profit of company B based on capital employed of 1 lakh. So that means although company A earning 12,000 profit, but based on 200,000 capital employed, that means 6% ROI. But company A generating profit of 10,000, lesser profit, but based on capital employed 100,000, that's 10% ROI. So company B, that's 10% ROI. So ROI 6%, it's lower than the ROI 10%. So that means investment decision is not based on profitability. That should be based on ROI. So that's the second point. So A and B, it's not correct. So of course, the remaining two, that should be correct. That should be the right statement. So let's read. But you need to read it. Profits relate to performance in short term and is not good basis for long-term investment decision. That's absolutely right. Profit is something good for the performance measurement of short term, but it's not the performance measurement of the long-term investment decision. Profit can be manipulated, yes, by accounting policy. There are a lot of accounting policies through which the directors of the management can manipulate. For example, IAS 16 cost or revaluation model. For example, IAS 37 provisions. So yes, it's possible. And so not the best measure of performance. So that means the answer, these 3 and 4 statements are correct statements. So I will also provide this document which includes the description. If first statement is false, whatever I have said to you, why it's false, you need to know. Second statement is false, why it's false. Third is true, why it's true. Fourth is true, why it's true. That is called the quality practice. You need to know you need to well aware about that, why the statement false and why the statement true. Okay. So this is what about the first question. So that's third and fourth is correct. Now, next statement. Come on. Which of the following is or are weakness in using the financial statement to value an unlisted business? Okay. So this is something about the content financial statement to value unlisted business. Again, this type of question is about financial management function and environment. So content of the syllabus is financial management function and environment. And what examiner asks here, which of the following is or are weakness? You need to identify weakness. So read it carefully. Weaken statements. Read it carefully. Number 1, financial statements are governed by financial regulation. Don't take final decision. First read all the statements. Financial statements do not represent future performance. Financial statements are produced on an annual basis. Annual basis. Okay. So, which of the statements is or are weakness? Number 1, financial statements are governed by financial regulation. This is not weakness. This is the strengthen point. No? This is a strong point. So point number 1 is not weakness. Either both 2 and 3 or any one. Financial statement do not represent the future performance. That's absolutely right. Financial statement, income statement, and balance sheet, it's about past, shows the past performance. It's not shows the future performance. So point number 2 is absolutely right. Point number 2 is absolutely right. I mean, it's a real weakness, right? Means it's a weakness. Financial statement do not represent the future performance. Third point, financial statement are produced on annual basis. So is this weakness or not? This is a confusing point. Are produced on an annual basis. This is not the something is strength, no? This is not the strength. But is this weakness or not need to identify? You need to consider this statement with viewpoint of usage of financial statement, not the maker, usage, investor. If I'm going to ask one question to you, as investor, if you wanted to take any decision about, for example, investment in any company or selling of shares of any company, so it's a compulsory you have to take decision at the point when financial statement are produced. This is compulsory. No, sir. As investor, we wanted to take decision anytime during the year. So that means with viewpoint of investor, it's a weakness. For example, you and me wanted to take decision about the companies, about the investment in share in the company at mid of November, November 23. But the accounts will finalize by December 23 and published by February 24, for example. So should I wait for next 4 months? No, I don't want to lose my money. So for investor, it's a weakness for the financial statement. I know that there is no solution about this. So that means point number 3, it's absolute weakness, and point number 3 is also the weakness with respect to the investor. So point number 2 and 3 is the correct answer. Point number 2 and 3 is the correct answer. So that is what about you need to know. Statement number 1 is not a weakness. Statement number 2, financial statements are prepared on an historic basis. Yes. And they are not timely as only prepared annually. Not timely with viewpoint. This is not timely word. It's with respect to investor perspective. This is with viewpoint of investor perspective. That's a point. And that's statement 2 and 3. So now, come on. Next move. Third question. Yes. Third question. You need to match your particular statement with respect to these two conditions, these two requirements. Government can pursue a range of policies to influence the economy. So number 1, you need to identify which area of the syllabus here examiner examine. This is something about financial management, function and environment. Government can pursue a range of policies to influence economy. Match the government intervention to type the policy. Match. You need to match something like this. Okay. Government intervention, monetary and fiscal policy. Before going to attempt this question, you need to aware these points. Here examiner asks monetary policy and fiscal policy. So what is this about? Ask yourself, you really know about the fiscal and monetary policy? Yes, fiscal policy relates to government spending and taxation. That is undertaking infrastructure program. It's commonly policy of the government attempting to stimulate the economy, increasing tax revenue by raising tax rates, that's a fiscal matter, and introducing new tax in another options for fiscal policy. So tax policies, government expenditure policies, that's under the scope of fiscal policy. And about the monetary policy, that is related to the control of money supply, and that is called interest rate and the money supply. Increasing credit rates, increasing money supply, that's all these things. Encouraging saving is generally achieved through the setting attractive interest rate for saving. So these are the journal points you need to know about that. Number 1, yes. Now it's time to match the answer one by one. First, read the requirement. Increase. Don't be desperate to move forward. Cool down. Number one, increase the amount of credit available to consumer. Undertake a new program of spending on infrastructure. Encourage more saving by consumers. Maintaining public spending levels while increasing tax revenues. So number one, increasing the amount of credits available to the consumers. That means related to the interest rate. That is about the monetary policy. Undertaking new program of spending on infrastructure. That is called fiscal policy. Encouraging more savings to control the money supply. That is about monetary policy. And maintaining public spending levels to increase tax revenue. That's about the fiscal policy. So that is the point. It's very simple. First, you need to aware during practice sessions that I know this syllabus area, otherwise refer the knowledge and attempt the question. This is what I am doing here, the qualitative standard of the practice. If you focus on quantity of practice, just putting a guesswork and keep moving without using the brain, without any, so there is no development about the intellectual skills. No? That is not the qualitative approach. Now come on, next point. Once again, yes, select the type of financial market appropriate to each of the company needs. Sir, this is also, that is something about financial management function and environment. That's financial market. That's a point, yes. So you need to select here, select the type of financial markets appropriate to each of the company's needs. That is something about foreign exchange markets, euro market, money market, capital market, primarily market, secondary markets, all these points. Okay, so first of all, MD needs to convert foreign exchange into domestic market. So they wanted to convert foreign exchange into domestic market. So that's the point. First you read the requirement or read the options. Dell company needs to issue long-term loan notes. Long-term loan notes, not the short-term. Banjai company needs to issue new shares. Needs to issue. First time issue new shares. So primary market is a point where first time you need to issue. Then secondary market where you start the trading. So primary market is a floor market available for the shares issuance, loan notes issuance, and even the OTC derivatives. Carlo needs to purchase short-term OTC derivative primary market. That's from the bank. Bank also called the primary markets. So first of all, I must say here, you need to aware about these points. What is the foreign, where the foreign currency is sold? At the foreign exchange markets. You need to aware. What about the euro market? Euro market, as per its name, euro. But any of the company can borrow the money, it means issue the bonds in the euro markets and also buy the bonds, that's deposits. So that is about something loan or deposits. You need to aware about that. Long-term loan notes are are sold to the capital markets, because money markets is about not the long term, it's a short term. Long term loan notes are provided to the capital market. New shares are initially sold at primary markets, then trade on secondary market. OTC derivatives are purchased at the primary market, like the banks and the exchanges. Huh? Now, you need to cover this. Number one, MBAN needs to convert foreign exchange into domestic market. Absolutely right, foreign exchange markets. They'll need to issue new long-term loan notes. That's capital market. Banjai company needs to issue new ordinary shares. So that's a secondary market. And Carlo needs to purchase short-term. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Banjai company needs to issue new ordinary shares at the primary market, and Carlo needs to purchase short-term OTC derivatives primary market. So that is the point that you need to aware about that, and that's all done about the first four questions. Next question about. I hope it's clear. If you have any confusion, you can ask me on the WhatsApp group. Yes, another question. Sir, all the questions related to financial management function environment. This practice session, section 8 type question, it's about financial management function environment. UK bank is planning to borrow US dollar. UK bank wanted to borrow in US dollar. Wanted to borrow in US dollar. A bank UK, local currency is sterling, but they wanted to borrow money in US dollar. So this is financial management function environment in which two of the following would undertake the transaction. So you need to understand what examiner asked here. That's how it's possible to borrow the money. UK bank wanted to borrow money in US dollars. Listen carefully, very carefully. Number one, is it possible the certificate of deposit markets? Is it possible that's finance house market, that's financial institutions? Is it possible to euro currency market? Is it possible to interbank market? These 4 points. First of all, you must have to aware that you have a knowledge about all these components. If not, get the knowledge. You need to aware about all 4 points. Number one, series certificate of deposits are the saving certificates with fixed maturity interest rates, but that is normally available for domestic market. That's available only for domestic market. Here UK bank wants to borrow money in US dollars. So it's not possible to issue the certificate and deposit in their foreign currency. It's not possible. Finance house market is where financial institutions trade money market loans. So financial house markets means financial institutions. They are the institutions which provide the opportunity to trade the loans. They are the institutions. But these are available for domestic markets. And financial house markets, bank cannot directly borrow the money. No? They are the institutions which provide the platforms to issue their bonds or purchase the bonds. That's the trading markets. But euro market by its name euro, it's not compulsory that we have to invest or borrow money only, or any company or any bank wanted to issue bonds with the euro markets only with the euro currency. It's maybe possible to issue the bonds with the foreign currency. So UK bank, it's possible for the UK bank. So go to the euro currency market and meet all the conditions or the requirements of the euro currency markets and issue the bonds with the foreign currency, that's US dollars. That's one point. So despite the name, euro currency does not relate to currency of European Union or indeed any specific currency. It is the finance that is raised in the currency other than domestic currency that's location. The interbank market, that's the banks, is used for banks to lend funds to each other through short-term loans, which could be in any currency. It's possible for UK bank to arrange foreign currency based loan from other bank. It's possible. So with this scenario, there are two possibilities. That's UK bank to borrow US dollars, euro currency market and interbank markets. So I hope that it's very clear to all of you. I will provide you the document as well, my supportive document to you. Don't worry about that. In fact, available with the description side of the video. Just click the link. You will be able to get the video.